Hey guys, how we getting on today? So today is episode 11, and today I'm joined by Daniel Kelly. So Daniel has been working in the fitness industry now for a while. He does incredible things, working with people, helping them truly transform themselves. But not only is he a personal trainer, but he's also kind of lived the journey himself. Going back a few years now, he kind of started off, and he was someone that was obviously eating a lot of the wrong foods, which led to him putting on a lot of weight. So his journey was really about working out what he needed to do to help transform himself to get to the position that he's at now. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And yeah, let's dive straight into it. Hey guys, how are we getting on today? So today we're here with Daniel Kelly. So Daniel has been working in the fitness industry now for the last couple of years, and is also studying to be a physical therapist. So thank you so much.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks
for coming along today. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do at the moment?
So currently at the moment, I'm working full-time as a personal trainer and part-time studying neuromuscular physical therapy. So that's basically what I'm doing at the moment. Working outside in the Model Farm Road in a gym. We're under the name Barefoot Physio, so it's a physiotherapy clinic, and then we also have a gym inside there where we do private one-to-one personal training. So I suppose I'm coming up in the fitness industry about just under 4 years now. Yeah. So it's been fun.
Cool. And like you were saying to me there a while ago about working with people with disabilities, I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah. So that's something new that kind of came into me in the last 2 years. So I originally started off kind of like most personal trainers, working in a commercial gym out in Douglas, and then I got into the private setting then of the clinic I'm in now. So I still do the basic, or when I say the basic, your general one-to-one PT, your teammate training, your spinning classes, your circuit classes, but then on top of that, then we specialise a bit more then with people with disabilities. But I'm still only very young, starting off in that area.
That's incredible. I think it's really inspiring because it takes...
Yeah, it's cool. Like,
it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of time and effort to actually work with people like that.
It's going to take years to
really master
it. Like the people that I work with now are expertise in their profession, like from leading physiotherapists to probably one of the best personal trainers I've ever met. My boss, like, so it's been pretty cool.
Yeah. But it must be so fulfilling as well. Like you were showing me a picture of a girl that hadn't...
Yeah, so it's very fulfilling, like working with people with disabilities and seeing them still hitting the gym is something else. It's very cool. Like that all actually started with my mother. So originally, like I think my mom is diagnosed with, it's not full MS, but it's a type of MS. It's like a sister disease basically. And she was going to physio all through the years, and she was getting her treatment inside hospital. And then when I was doing my personal training course, Ray, who was my tutor, who I work for now, I was telling my mum that Ray is pretty good with working with people with disabilities. Like, so she started strength training with Ray.
Yeah.
Over 4 years ago now, like, yeah. So and the improvements in our movement and everything has been insane. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. So, like, I suppose take us back a little bit on your journey. Like, what before you became a personal trainer, all that kind of stuff. What was, I suppose, life like for you in your teenage years?
So, teenage years, I went to school out in Ballincollig in Closhcolum, in the Gael Closh to the Irish side. Growing up was actually pretty good, to be honest. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't say I had a terrible childhood. I didn't. Do you know what I mean? My parents were outstanding. I still look up to my dad as probably one of the greatest mentors ever. My real background story then would be like obese. That's you seen the pictures there yourself. Like I think at the age of 17 I think the heaviest I hit was 18.5 stone.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
18.5 stone. What age were you around then?
17.
17.
Yeah, 17 years of age.
And obviously to get to that weight, it must have taken time.
Oh yeah, all through my teenage.
So were you someone that you just found you were overeating a lot, or just picking on stuff, bad food choices?
I'd say overeating, underactive. I'd say those would be the biggest. Growing up, like the only sport I was playing was golf. So even though golf, like you are doing a lot of walking, to be honest, like you're burning serious amount of calories with your output. But then I'd make up for it. I used to go home then and have a pizza, bag of Doritos, not a small bag, like big share bag, like not a bother, and cans of Pepsi and all that. Like, so that's how I kind of reached my peak at my highest weight. Like, that's how I.
And how did that kind of affect you mentally? Because you would have been still in school then as well.
Yeah, the way it would affect me mentally, as in like being around my peers, being the biggest. I always tell this story to my girlfriend, like, because me and my girlfriend, like, were together a good few years. But when we first originally met, like, we always laugh because, like, when we first originally met, before we were even together, it was back when we were, like, I think 16, 17, like, and I remember it was this roasting hot day.
Yeah.
And we were all out, bushing, like, at the time, like, being youngsters. It was this roasting hot day, absolutely boiling peak of the summer, and I was just wearing this big black jacket because I was so uncomfortable wearing a t-shirt,
Yeah.
So it kind of affected me, like, body image-wise, growing up, comparing myself to other people, as in the sense of like, oh, I'm not the same size, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And so obviously and around then as well, like when was it that you decided to actually do something about it? Or when did you say, I'm actually not happy the way I am, I need to actually make a change?
It was the summer of 5th year.
Yeah.
So we were coming to the end of the school year, and I got in contact with a personal trainer, a nutrition coach out in Ballincollig at the time. And I'd say I got onto him, say, on the Monday, and the following Monday then I started PT, started nutrition, and it was nothing but the whole summer was gym 3 hours a day, meal prep, sleep, nothing else for good solid 3 months. After the 3 months, I think I was after losing 4 stone. Within the 3 months, came back to school. And then when I got back in school, I started to drop another bit of weight then as the months went on.
Yeah.
But that was solely through PT, gym on my own, and nutrition.
And eating healthier as well.
Yeah.
And how did you know, because I'm just kind of asking this now because I know that, like, I was never massively overweight, but I was really unhappy with the way I was, and I knew I was putting on weight and stuff. And I never knew what the reason was. I never knew it was because I was eating crap all the time.
Yeah.
So did you understand that it was because you were eating shitty food?
Do you know what? Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, but I wouldn't have the knowledge I would have now. You know, as in, like, when you're young, you kind of know, like, you kind of associate bad food, good food, when you're young, like, so I knew I was eating too much bad food, technically, and then not enough good food, and not being that active, to be honest. But, like, when I was 16, 15, I don't know if it was the same for you, like, when we were 15, 16, there was no one going to the gym. There was no such thing as there was no such thing as going to the gym. Like, I'd say I was probably one of the first in my year in my school to start going to the gym around the 5th year mark. Yeah. But before that, like, there was no gym, so there was no. The only form of exercise would have been sports teams, and I wasn't involved in any sports team other than playing golf. Like, so I think it was just making bad food choices and not exercising, basically.
Yeah. And so when you went on the journey, did you have any mental battles with yourself, or was there any times where you felt that it was getting too much for you?
On the weight loss journey, no. Yeah. Like, no. As in, like, that's one thing I have to say, like, and even, like, my sister and my parents or anyone who my friends would say at the time, like, I was driven, like, I didn't cheat once, I didn't skip a meal, I didn't do anything, I was absolutely driven to that. So the weight loss journey was good, but then afterwards it was kind of like trying to find your toes again, you know what I mean? Adapting to this new weight was more of a struggle than losing it. If that, I don't know if you kind of understand, like, but like, it was actually, I was so used to being big, and then all of a sudden when you're, after a year, you're down to
looking at yourself in the mirror.
Looking at yourself like a different person, like.
And was that motivating for you then, to see yourself, how far you'd come and stuff?
Yeah, big time, like, big time. So my real the motivation was obviously to lose the weight, to look better, to be honest. Like, when you're younger, like, you just want to look better and feel better, you know. But then the other aspect was like I really wanted to join the military. Like that was my goal from a very young age, was to join the military.
Okay,
like
so you had this drive or so probably in your subconscious.
Yeah, big time. Like because you had to pass a fitness test to even be brought for an interview. Like so, I had to pass this interview, or I had to pass this fitness test. Like so, that was a big drive as well. Also, like to get down that weight.
So do you think you kind of had that in the back of your mind when you kind of first initially started the personal training and started eating right?
The military, like the aspect. Yeah, I would have had it in the back of my mind, but the sole priority then was to just lose weight, like, and look better, like, to be quite honest. Like, that was the main priority, like.
Yeah, no, like, I'm asking those questions because I know there's a lot of people out there as well that may be stuck on starting their journey, and they may be stuck on finding a motivation to get them going. Because I know it can be really hard for someone to actually make that first initial step to get going.
Yeah.
But even when they are going, they might find it hard to keep it up if they don't see like you got really quick results.
Quick results, yeah.
If you don't see it straight away, you're going, you know, there's a lot of effort in this. It hurts. It's painful.
Yeah. Like I see that a lot with my own clients as well. But I think like Joe, and people sometimes they kind of say, "Oh, I seen your weight loss journey," but I think people forget, like. Not forget, but I don't think they realise how big I was. So like, you know, like the weight was going to fall off me a lot quicker than it will fall off someone who only has a few pounds to lose, you know what I mean? Like, so like when people say, oh, you lost it, but like people don't realise like when I lost it, I was going to the gym 3 hours per day.
Yeah.
I was doing an hour and a half weights, an hour and a half cardio. I was doing nutrition to a T, never stepped foot out of line, as in like when it came to that. And as I said, I had a load of weight to lose. So it started flying off me, you know what I mean? Whereas people who come to, I don't think they would have as much weight to lose, if you get what I'm saying. Like, so they're not going to see his results as quick as that, you know what I mean? Like, I think I went from one extreme to another. Like, my girlfriend always says to me, I'm an extremist. Like, I go all in or else I'm not in at all. Like, I think that's kind of my mentality, like my personality, like I'm all for nothing or not at all, like.
And how did the whole journey affect your mental state as well?
So yeah, that's a good one. So obviously it done me the world of good, you know, because I went from being technically clinically obese to being down to a normal weight. But I think the biggest struggle was actually getting used to the size I was, like, as in not I was previous, but to get used to the size that I've achieved, you know what I mean? Because like, I don't know if anyone else said, like, if you held a big weight before, you kind of nearly think to yourself that you're still stuck in that body, even though like people on the outside would be like, what, are you looking real? Like, but you feel like you're nearly stuck in the same body, if that makes sense. Like, yeah.
And do you still get that now today?
Oh yeah,
every so often.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, yeah, I don't think that will ever go away.
Right.
I think I just need to learn how to control it better. I don't think there'll ever be a time when it's fully gone. You know what I mean? I think it's just about controlling the emotions and dealing with it a bit better. Yeah,
because I suppose that I'd say it must be hard though at times, because when you look in the mirror and if you still have this vision of you back when you're 17 years old, you're seeing this big overweight person.
Yeah.
And like, would you ever kind of have flashbacks going, fuck, that was me actually before?
Yeah, I would, yeah. And then you kind of have to bring myself back down to the ground level, which can be hard at times sometimes, you know what I mean? But like, Joe, like, I might pick something out of my body. It could be anyone, like, Joe, I might pick something out of my body where someone else is like, what, you're grand, but to me then it's not grand. Do you know what I mean?
And because like, what can happen as well with people, I say at a subconscious level, like where you were before being this overweight person, and you still have the vision in the back of your head, that it can start to draw you back in. And I know this can happen with people as well. And there can be a lot of different triggers for this. Sometimes it can be relationships. Sometimes it could be from bullying or something like that.
Yeah.
That when someone's overweight and they start to lose weight, something pulls them back to that person again. And it can be because of the connection they had with the other person that maybe they don't feel they deserve to be the person they're actually after becoming now.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
That, well, like when you're saying as well with the kind of bringing it back up that you're seeing this overweight person every so often, that is there a connection that you need to let go of? Is there a belief system still kind of in the back of your mind that maybe that you're not deserving of the way you're looking now?
Yeah, that's actually on the money, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose you kind of like, you know, I kind of look back sometimes and I'm like, oh, I was this 16, 17-year-old hugely overweight to now being a 23-year-old successful PT as such. In the fitness industry, done the military, passed all the recruit training, done just under 2 years. To think like, is this really me?
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, these are the kind of people I would have looked up to when I was overweight, and now I'm kind of...
You're that person
I'm
now.
that person now, like, so it's a bit of like...
So maybe is it about trying to build that belief of that you've become the person now that you used to look up to before.
Yeah.
And now that you're that person, like, what can you do now to kind of strengthen that belief to say, do you know what, to be proud of that person?
Say that again, sorry.
So in other words, like you were saying there a second ago, that we used to look up to these other people. Yeah. So they were basically going, oh my God, I'd love to be like that or whatever. Yeah. And you've actually worked your way all the way up there.
Yeah.
That obviously not obviously, but it kind of sounds like there might be some limiting beliefs still there as well.
I think everyone will nearly have a bit of that in them. You know what I mean? I think no matter what job you're in or what aspect of life you come from, you kind of like, it's kind of a pinch me moment, as in like, am I really up here? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, am I, do you know, looking back through the years, like, not do I deserve to be here, but like, it's kind of like, God, like one of those moments, like.
Yeah. No, it's incredible though, because now you get to take other people on this journey, and
I think that's the coolest. I think that's the coolest thing, because like, obviously back when the trainer that I went to, the reason I picked the trainer that I went to years ago is he lost 10 stone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like, the reason I went to him was because he previously done it. Do you know, and he was in the mindset that he was 10 stone overweight, he lost 10 stone, and I was like, oh, I want to go to you, you know what you're on about. So like, it's unbelievable when clients reach out to me, or potential clients reach out to me, and they're saying, I've seen your journey, I've seen what you've been through, like I want to choose you as a trainer because you know what it's like, rather than just textbook. Like I can tell you how to lose weight through deficit, but like, as in like, you've actually experienced it and went through it. Like, so I think there's
nothing more powerful than that.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like what we were talking about there a minute ago. Like, it's kind of leading by experience rather than textbook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as in like, if I was to go like with our CrossFit experience, like, I wouldn't go to a PT who's only read about CrossFit. I'd want to go to a PT who has
done it,
done CrossFit, done competitions, you know what I mean?
Like
lived it and read it, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's sometimes it's pretty surreal thinking about it now, chatting about it.
I know, but it's the same with anything though.
Yeah.
It's like, even getting into the fitness industry, it's always good to go speak to PTs.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Rather than just actually doing the course, to find out exactly what it is like.
Yeah.
Because like, I did my course over in Australia, and the amount of people, the amount of people that have become personal trainers, but the amount of people I've seen coming through the doors of the gym, they wouldn't last a couple of months as a trainer, because they don't actually realise that it's a sales position. You got to go in, you got to sell yourself.
Yeah, totally.
You got to get clients, you got to hold on to them, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of time with PT as well, I had this, it was yourself on the phone last night, we had this conversation, it might not have been you now, about a conversation where people think like PT is a great job, you just kind of stand around and you just tell people, oh, 2 more reps, like, when that's not the case at all, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, you're right there, like, you have to give people a reason. Like, if people get in contact, you have to be able to back yourself up, I suppose, like 100%. Testimonials, experience, references, everything, like, you know what I mean?
So what kind of advice would you give to people, or do you give to people that are overweight, when they're kind of maybe even sitting on the fence about trying to decide what they're going to do?
So yeah, I suppose it depending on each client, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of comes into like where they're at in their life. Like, obviously losing weight is a priority. Like, if you're severely overweight, it's losing. But like, is it the case where you're a father of 3 kids and your family is your priority at the moment? Can you just solely focus on the weight loss journey, as in that's number one priority.
Yeah.
So depending, but like, I suppose it depends on each client. For me personally, I'd say go for it. As in, I would say it to anyone, but you need to give it everything you got.
Yeah.
Like some weight losses will be faster than others. Some will be slow and steady. It just all depends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's so basically just telling people just go for it. But if they're going to go for it, to go all in.
I wouldn't say go all in. But like what I'm saying is when it comes to priority is, and like if you're single, like, and you don't have family, or if you don't have nothing to worry about, you can really give it everything. But if you've like, say yourself there, like if you've a son or a daughter, or if you marry life, like that's obviously going to be priority first. So we need to go take it a bit more steady throughout the pace. Like,
so it's just making sure you fit it into someone's lifestyle. So
totally.
In a way that's going to work.
Totally. Like it worked well for me when I was doing it, because I was a 17-year-old and I had all the time in the world. Like I was on my summer holidays, like, but like it's actually prioritizing what is priority in life at the moment. You know what I mean? And like sometimes when you're losing weight, like losing weight might be a secondary rather than a primary.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And making sure that you do it in a healthy, sustainable way as well, you know?
I suppose as well, if people go, you know what, I'm going to go all in and forget about the priorities, that things will start to creep up.
Yeah.
They'll realise that they can't give it as much as they wanted to.
Yeah.
They might start getting overwhelmed with everything then, and thinking, I can't fit this in, or I can't get my cardio in here, I can't do this and this, and just end up giving up the whole thing.
Yeah, totally. Like, and I think like you probably see this a lot of the time as well, is like when people come in for assessments for PT and they see, you know, this is your kind of standard 6-week kind of PT, people think, oh, like, oh yeah, 6 weeks, like I'll be a different person walking out the door, like, and you kind of have to explain to them, no, like, you're kind of doing 2 half-hours a week, which is an hour of training, and then like, you know, it's 12 weeks, it took you how many years to put, or 6 weeks, it took you how many years to put on the weight. You kind of have to, education is a big part of it, isn't it? Like,
oh no, that's huge. I think a lot of people forget about that. They forget about the length of time it took them to put on the weight.
Yeah.
The amount of food they actually had to eat to put on the weight.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, and they think like in 6 weeks it's going to be
whole new person.
It's going to be gone, you know what I mean? Like, but like I have to say, like I was kind of victim to that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As in like I was victim to like 3 months, oh man, I'm a completely different person, when in fact it's not. Like even like 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, you still have to keep that journey up. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I let myself go, like as in when it comes to nutrition, like I can guarantee like I'd be
right back there again.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, so it's kind of a thing where like it's not going to be 6 weeks, it's going to be.
And are you someone that has to be still strict with your food, or can you have a balance now?
I'd say that's something I've struggled with throughout the years. I think that kind of comes down to my personality, as in like all in or all out kind of job. Like, I kind of went through different phases, like as in like, you know, your standard meal plans, and then intuitive eating, and then fasting, you know, your intermittent fasting. I'm getting a lot better. Yeah. But I can't say I'm 100% on the money with my nutrition. As in like, I can't say that I'd have one bite and then, no, that's me. I could end up eating a bloody whole cake, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's something that still needs a good bit of work, you know? Yeah. So,
and do you think that's more of your mindset that you need to focus on working on, or the habits of being able to say no to stuff?
A bit of both, I'd say.
Yeah,
a bit of both.
Because and like, if you like, would you, like, if someone's birthday or whatever, would you allow yourself to have a slice of cake or whatever?
Oh yeah. No fair there, like.
But would you kind of feel bad after it, or?
I wouldn't feel like. Do you ever go through? I don't know if you went through this, but I think it's part of like. It seems to be like a thing with all people who've lost major amount of weight. You kind of go through like a binge, and then after a binge, you nearly feel emotional, like as in like you feel like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that, like, you know, that kind of way, like. But no, I'm a lot better now. Yeah, thank God. It takes a few years to get more of that, like, you know what I mean, like, because like you have to realize like you're living in a body for 18, 20, or like in my case 17 years. Then within a year, you're a whole new body. So you're nearly trying to adjust to the new body. You know what I mean? Like, so it takes a bit of time, like, but.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really important thing for people to be able to focus on as well, that when they're on that journey, that they're able to, I suppose, allow themselves to have a balance if they want to, but also not go overboard as well. Because like people with addictive personalities and stuff like that might just go all in and go, you know what, I just had a cake now, tomorrow I'm going to McDonald's and this and this, and everything just rolls on top of each other.
Yeah, totally. I have done that loads of times. To be quite honest, like I've done that loads of times, but to be honest there, like over the last few months, I haven't been too bad. Like even in January now, my nutrition is bang on point, like to be fair, like, and it's not track calories for the first week back after Christmas, just because, you know, extra bit of weight put up over Christmas there, festive season, but like now I'm not tracking any calories, just intuitively eating and conscious choices more than anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like I know there, like in the end of the month is my birthday, so I'll go out for a night out now with my friends and stuff. Yeah. So that's kind of in the back of my mind, but just training away as well, like big thing.
Well, I think it's important to be able to allow yourself to do stuff like that.
For nights out. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if it's something you enjoy doing, then you shouldn't have to give that part up.
Yeah, totally.
Because I know there's a lot of people as well, they go, no, I can't go out, I can't do this, I can't do that.
Yeah, that would have been me when I was losing my weight.
Right.
But one thing I have to say is that when I was going through my weight loss journey, like, to be honest, like I was so overweight I couldn't afford a night out. It would have probably set me back big time. I had to get to a stage where I was after dropping a few stone before I could ease back into that, you know what I mean? Yeah. You probably see it with clients as well, like where clients could be 2 or 3 weeks into their plan and they're already on a night out, like whereas I think it needs to be a good few weeks before we actually bring that stage back in. Now, some people may disagree, which is perfectly fair enough, but I think when you're starting to get into a new routine, you need to give it a good few weeks before because those nights out, if you're only 2 or 3 weeks into your plan, they could actually set you back big time then if you find yourself like Monday, Tuesday, I'm still not back on my plan, like, do you know what I mean? I think you need to give people a good few weeks to get comfortable with their new routine. Yeah.
So getting people into a proper lifestyle first, or into a proper routine before they reintroduce.
Yeah, strip things back a bit and then slowly reintroduce things again, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's because I think for some people as well, when they start off on their fitness journey, they think they may have like a mental barrier stopping them from starting because they feel they have to completely give up everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or they might say, oh, I'm just going to have a McDonald's today now because I know next week I'm going to start. So they start piling all this stuff into them.
And start next Monday.
And then they push it further again. Oh no, there's something coming up now in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to wait till after that.
Yeah. No, I kind of would have been... Actually, would I? I can't really remember. Would I been like that? I don't think I was like that because I think something just went to my head and I just done it. But like you can still have nights out and stuff. You know what I mean? There's no fear there. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's what kind of happens is if old habits might start to creep back in pretty quickly. Like, you know what I mean? But like no, there is balance. Like a lot of my clients now, like I wouldn't call them cheat meals, but like I'd have free meals on their nutrition plans. Like one client that I'm working with at the moment, like he's on a lean bulk, like, and he doesn't plan on drinking or anything like that. But one thing we do is we allow him three meals a week for his dinner that are just free meals. And when I say free meals, I don't mean takeaways, I mean home cooked rather than actually on a
specific food,
specific meal plan. Kind of give him that 3-time break throughout the week to make it more sustainable for the next 3 months, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so what kind of advice would you have for people that have already started on their journey and they might start getting doubts about it? I'm not sure if that happened with you at all.
When
you've already started on your journey, you're moving forward. Was there any kind of doubts thinking that you could keep this up?
Personally, no. Like personally, through my weight loss journey, no, I didn't have any doubts. I don't know what happened to me. I was just in a frame of mind where I was just
laser focused. I
don't know. I was just, like, even my mom says it to this day. Like she's like, I don't know how you done it. Like I was just laser focused. But like the thing is, losing weight, like it's not going to be 6 weeks. It's not going to be 6 months. It's not going to be 12 months. Man, it's years.
Yeah,
it's years. Like because like it's great. Like The easy part is actually, believe it or not, is losing the weight. Like from experience, the hardest part is maintenance.
Is the actual phase afterwards?
Yeah, is the actual phase afterwards. Like getting comfortable with the new lifestyle and getting comfortable with everything. I personally found the hardest. I actually thought losing weight was easy.
Yeah.
Obviously the training was hard, nutrition was hard, but like it was pretty easy compared to now, where you still have to find
a proper balance for yourself.
Fine tune it, yeah.
Yeah.
But someone who's losing weight, it's going to take time and patience.
Did you find that people treated you anywhere different?
When I was overweight?
No, when you lost the weight, or even throughout the journey,
weight. No. I can't say I did. Like, people say, "Oh, fair play, like you're great," but like when I was in school, the lads just looked at me as Dan. Like, so like I can't say anything. No, I can't actually. No, I can't say anything.
So you didn't really get. So everybody when you're kind of overweight, there wasn't people that kind of said, "Oh, I'm not going to hang around with him," or anything like that.
No. I was actually fairly lucky that way. Like, as in, like, I had a good group of friends with me in school, and I was all right. But like, you know, you do get stuff said to you.
Yeah.
You know, you do get, you know, the easy fat jokes here and there. Like, but overall throughout school and everything, no, I was pretty solid. To be fair, like, still friends with the lads I was growing up in school with. Like, we're all still in the same group. Like, so.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm lucky that way. Like, even though a few of them live abroad now and stuff like so. Like,
no, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that kind of go through that journey, and people might stop hanging around with them if they're massively obese, or they might start picking on them or saying stuff to them or whatever.
I'd never anyone, I have to say this, close to me, as in, like, I would consider friends, say anything to me.
Yeah.
It would be people that I wouldn't consider friends would actually say something to me. But my group of friends, no. They're all legends, to be fair to them. Like,
that's brilliant.
Yeah. They're all sound.
That's actually really cool, because I know it can really affect people mentally when stuff like that does happen.
Yeah.
And like,
they're saying that, like, stuff was said to me, but never by my friends. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. Like,
so you're lucky on that part.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, very lucky.
So it sounds like the journey was pretty smooth enough for yourself.
It was smooth enough in some cases.
No, the maintenance part that you're kind of saying.
Yeah, as I said, like, I've kept the weight off now for the last how many years, but like, to be fair now, like, I'm fairly active. Do you know what I mean? I think, like, sometimes people forget, like, when they lose the weight, that the activity levels might slip down again. Like, I still go for 10-kilometer runs. I still, like, as soon as I finished my weight loss journey, I was into the Navy, where I was running every day in recruit training. We were running with our boots on.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts like that. Like, and then when I was in the Navy, I done my PT course at night, and it was constantly active throughout my PT course. Came out of my PT course, was started working in a commercial gym, so I've never not been active. So since I started my weight loss journey, like, so I think one of the things is that people their activity levels, like, start to decrease a small bit.
Yeah. So
I've never struggled with that side of things, but I think everyone struggles with a bit of mental now and again, like, when it comes to any aspect. Now, that could come from someone who's lost weight all the way down to their ideal weight, and same the other way around, someone who was skinny, who worked their way up to be in fairly decent shape and put on a good bit of muscle mass. They probably still think they're small.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
100%, yeah. I completely agree with you. So I suppose we'll just start to wrap it up there. So would you have any kind of other advice for people wanting to start a weight loss journey, or some tips on what they can actually do to help them progress? So the basics that I would say to people is make better food decisions, as in, if you don't even need to join a gym. I think this is actually one of the biggest things that people think, that you need to go to a personal trainer, when you don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even need a gym. Like, all I would say is cut out simple things that you'd hear all the time. Cut out the takeaways, or not even cut them out, ease them out. Yeah. Sweets, your standard chocolate, stuff like that. More whole food, plenty of water, and move a little bit more. Like, in Ireland these days, like, we get up and we drive to work, and most people sit down and work, and then they drive home from work and sit down on the couch. Like, so I don't think we move awful lot. Like, so I think people need to start
getting out a bit more. And if that means going to a spinning class, if that means going to a circuit class, going for a walk with the dog, anything. I just think people need to start moving a bit better. So, and then if they wanted to get onto PT, don't just jump straight at the gun. I think maybe have a look around, because some PTs might suit other clients differently. You know what I mean? As I said, if some client came to me who was looking for Olympic lifting, I'd say, that's not my area. I'll send you to someone who I know. You know what I mean? So I think just have a look around and don't rush into rush into anything.
I think that's a good point as well, about finding someone that will be a good fit for them.
Yeah.
Especially if someone doesn't connect with the person right as well.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, isn't it? Like you know this, like client coach relationship is huge for results and longevity. Like as in like there are some clients there now who I've been training for the last 2-3 years, like, and like you just build up a good working relationship with them, like, and I think that's a massive part of success.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like massive part.
If they don't trust you and they don't have a good connection with you, then they're not even going to listen to you.
No, and one of the biggest things,
do it and
job gone again. But I think one of the biggest things as well is like when clients come into trainers is honesty.
Yeah.
Like if you're not comfortable with your trainer, you're not going to be honest. But I think if you're comfortable with them, you're going to be a lot more honest. Like, in honesty is the biggest part of getting results as well. You know what I mean? One of the biggest parts, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Not honest with yourself, not honest with your trainer, you know?
Yeah.
Massive part.
There was a good point as well you're saying about people don't have to join a gym.
Yeah.
It's just about moving.
Yeah, I think...
I always talk about finding something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Could be out running the dog, could be
going
for walks, hiking, it could be anything at all.
I think at the day and age we're in at the moment, I think like the gym is after becoming trendy. Yeah. Like I think it's like the cool thing to do among the younger ages as well. Yeah. Like anyone who knows me, like I can't say I love lifting weights. Like it's not my first choice of exercise. My first choice of exercise would be going out running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'd rather do body weight stuff than I would do a deadlift. You know what I mean? Like that's not saying that I don't do it. Like I still lift weights and all that. Like, but it wouldn't be my favorite thing to do. Like I love going out for long runs and stuff. So I think like people think they need to join the gym when it's not. It could be taking up tennis. It could be taking up, a game of squash. It could be doing anything. You know what I mean? Like it does not swimming, anything. Like
it's just making sure it's something that they enjoy. So then they'll do it long term. So you see people come to the gym and going, "Oh my God, I hate this."
Yeah,
and they'll only last so long, and they'll just fall off the wagon again.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the gym is not for everyone. Like that's cool. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's great. Like find something that you really like to do and then do it a bit more. You know what I mean?
I know, definitely. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's wrap it up there. So where can people kind of follow you or reach out to you if they want to reach out to you?
On Instagram, it's Daniel Kelly Fitness. We also have a business page on Instagram, which is RBPT Centre, so Ray Buckley Personal Training Centre. And then also on Facebook, Ray Buckley Personal Training Centre.
Awesome.
So that's where you can.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Billy.
It's been a pleasure. Right?
So, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. If you do want to connect with Daniel, make sure you have a look in the show notes. You will find a link to his social media there. Also, make sure to follow me at Stephen O'Brien Coaching on Instagram and Facebook. And any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out. Make sure you like the podcast. Please leave a review, an honest review if you could, please. Because it's using those reviews that I can actually focus on making these episodes even better for you guys. Share it on your social media if you got value from it. Absolutely share it. Love that as well. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I will catch you on the next episode.